She's doing what she was born to do now, and this is what I've come all this way to do. And in fact, what I've been waiting for 20 years to do. This is a serious thrill. Capable of over 10 knots, boats like the Reaper could now travel over 200 miles in a single day, opening up new fishing grounds all along the east coast of Britain. Standing here on the lee bow of the boat, right in the sail, I can feel the wind being accelerated around the sail as it goes round, and actually I'm on the slow side of the sail. What's going on around the back is probably 5 knots more than what I'm getting here, so you can see and feel the power of this sail as it's working, and as you look up, it's gigantic. Now men who had once fished alone worked as crews, all pulling together to tame these huge boats. It is a brute to handle. I think you really need half a dozen young, fit Scottish fishermen who are motivated to get rich quick to make this happen. But these lads are amazing. I'm really impressed that these fellas can do this. Not a man with them without a bus pass. And they're sailing a boat that was designed for 25-year-olds.
Okay, guys. All right, John.
Now, with the sails set, it's off to the fishing grounds. The Fifie transformed fishing in Scotland and changed the lives of the fishermen forever. Bigger, faster boats allowed them to fish further afield, and crews were now working from the Norway deeps to the Dover Strait. The local lasses followed the boats, travelling as far south as Suffolk, gutting and salting the fish the men brought ashore.
All right then, 50 crown night, lads.
Herring are fished with drift nets that hang down from floats on the surface. By the late 19th century, Scots fishermen were using new cotton nets that were much lighter than their hemp predecessors. In her heyday, the Reaper would have set over a mile of nets. Today, we're going to try our luck with just 100 yards to see what we can catch. Well, we've got the nets out, Robert.
Absolutely, and it's looking good, isn't it? I mean, you see the line of the head rope, the cork floats on it there.
Yeah.
And then at the end of each of the panels of net, the big white bow, and it'll form a nice straight line in a wee while. And
yeah.
This boat represents the absolute peak of herring drifter development.
Yes.
And you couldn't run a boat this size and fleets of nets this size without the assistance of this beast here.
No. There it is, our little fleet, stretched out to windward of us. And then, all you could do was wait and hope the silver darlings, as fishermen call the herring, were busy swimming into the nets. It was much needed respite, and unlike the earlier open boats, Reaper offered a place out of the wind and spray where the fishermen could put their feet up and fill their bellies. Not only did Reaper have a cabin to shelter from the elements, she also featured a coal-fired stove to dry clothes and cook a hot meal. Unimaginable comforts on an open boat.
Cullen skink today.
Cullen skink.
A very traditional dish, made with haddock. It's a great...
On longer trips, the fishermen would cook for themselves as they do on modern trawlers. But if the men were out on a shorter trip, food was left to the wives, who would prepare what I can only describe as a 19th century packed lunch. Is this an original one?
Yeah, this is an original one. See, inside here you have all the provisions you'd need
Look at
for a night at the sea. You have a bit of butter here and some goat's cheese, cheddar, boiled eggs, oat cakes, fruit loaf, and I don't know, I think I might have a go at that one.
Yeah, I think you should. Come on, let's have a go at that. Oh, that was top notch, isn't
A
it?
bit of fruit loaf.
That'll stick to your ribs.
And of course, something to drink.
Nice bottle of beer.
But look at the label. It's got a picture of a minister holding a prayer book open in the middle.
What's that all about?
Well, I mean, the guys were going to sea, so it was quite comforting to have something to drink with them.
Yeah.
But the social impact of that on those small communities was often not good, and as a consequence you've got a strong temperance movement developing. And I think this is a wonderful example of a brewer having a marketing solution to the problem of saying, well, it's, you know, it may be beer, but it's the minister's beer.
That's right, isn't that great? Send for the minister. Well, it's a shame it's all been drunk, Robert.
Well, yes, it is, yes.
Warmed and fed, the men were now much better prepared for the long haul that lay ahead. A 6-hour shift that on a good day could bring in over 10 tons of herring. Hauling this lot in by hand would be impossible, but with the steam capstan pressed into service once again, a job that would have taken an army could now be tackled by one man maintaining a gentle pull on the end of a rope. The capstan became known as the Iron Man of the Seas. Fifes like Reaper transformed what had once been subsistence fishing into an international trade. By 1913, Scotland was exporting 2.5 million barrels of herring all over Europe each year. Ultimately, the sea just couldn't keep up. Under the onslaught of these bigger boats and the steam drifters that followed them, fish stocks started to dwindle. Today, numbers are a fraction of those once fished by the Reaper.
Nothing in the nets yet, Robert.
Nothing's parted either, which is good.
But it'd be a noble sight, wouldn't it, if it was coming over shining with
silver,
with silver herring. Yeah. it
Well,
would.
I think the best we could hope for today is some mackerel. Really.
Couple of mackerel for our breakfast tomorrow.
But when the Reaper fished, the seas were full of herring, and full to the gunwales, it was time to set both sails and crack on for home. From humble beginnings, the Scots fishermen had built a boat that mastered the sea.
The sheer ease with which this great big boat is just flying across the Firth of Forth. We're just scuttling along. There wasn't a steam drifter. There wasn't a steam-powered coaster. There was nothing under power that could get anywhere near this. And this is what let her get out to the fishing grounds, do her job, and then get back again before the herring spoiled. And it's also low tech. You know, these sails are so simple and they're lifting the boat. It's this feeling that she's being lifted. There's a sort of feeling of weightlessness about her. It's rather ethereal, actually, sailing on a big lugger. You should try it.
Today, the herring might have all but gone, but the memory of those hard, brave men who fished them lives on.
And he said you'd be far better off on the dole in this.
If you're lucky, you might still find a few old salts that remember the songs the fishermen sang as the nets came in.
Together. Up jumped the herring, the king of the shoal, and he said you'd be far better off on the dole in this windy old weather, stormy old weather. When the wind blows, we'll all pull.
A remarkable bunch, your Scottish fishermen. Forced from the land onto the cruelest of seas, it took a lot of valiant men's lives to bring about the development of a boat this good. And I can't think of a more fitting testimony to their memory than the sight of the Reaper driving hard for home. A genuinely amazing boat.